All right. Welcome, YouTube enthusiasts, drummers, and you other crazy people who like to watch videos, make videos, especially drum stuff like what we got going on back here. I'm Dan, the DEECH Frolic. Thought I'd be doing something a little different this time around than my last musical video. Actually, looking to kill a little time because I'm working on a particularly tough tune right now, and it's going to be a little bit before I'm able to post it. So in the meantime, one of the biggest questions I've been, actually not so much questions, just comments, is everybody seems to really admire the drum kit. So wanted to take this opportunity, get you guys up close with the kit, and show you exactly what it is I put together and what I use to make these videos. Let's go take a look. So, here we are behind the kit, and as you can see behind me, the red kit that I play on that you see in all the videos. The drums themselves are Yamaha Rock Tour Custom, as you've seen in probably some of the description of the other videos. It is actually an older kit that I've had for some time. The Rock Tour Custom is actually started out as a 6-piece kit, which is a 22 by 18 kick drum, a 12 by 9, I believe it's a 9, might be a 12 by 10 tom, 13 by 11 tom, a 14 by 12 tom that I have mounted over to my left, 16 by 16 floor tom, and then, pardon the camera move here, and then the snare drum, which is my pride and joy Yamaha solid brass snare, which is a 6.5 by 14. Moving on from there, we got the cymbals over here, and all my cymbals are Sabian except for my 2 sets of hi-hats and my ride cymbal. Actually, that's a mistake. The set of hi-hats I have over here are Sabian as well. So Sabian, 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 Sabian. Oh, can't see that. Sabian, China, Sabian here, and I'll tell you exactly what they are, and then Sabian here. The 2 bells are also both Sabian. So the Sabian cymbals I use are called the XS20 series. Oh, let's get that light there. There we go. XS20 cymbals. This was a line that was actually out probably a good 15 years ago or so, and I don't even think they're made anymore. I think they're called by a different name now if they do have them. They're a bronze mix alloy. As you can hear on the video, they make a pretty darn good sound. And they're all XS. You can see here the red cymbal. Have a little trick that I'm going to show you in another video for how I got them red. You can see that they do take a little wear though, so they do need to be touched up. But I'll show you how that trick happens in another video. So, coming left to right, 16-inch medium thin crash, 18-inch medium thin crash, 18-inch medium thin crash, 18-inch medium thin crash. So there's 3. Interesting, they all have slightly different tonalities though, and I picked them specifically because of that. This is also a Sabian XS20 18-inch China. And then I have a 17-inch HHX Power Crash. And then a 19-inch Sabian Metal Crash. On top of that is a 9-inch bell. And over here, 7-inch bell. And these are the Sabian ice bells, I guess they're called. Is it ice bell? What are they called? Oh, the Alu bell. There we go. See right in there? Alu bell, 7-inch Alu bell. They're aluminum. I guess that's why they're called Alu bell. The rest of the cymbals, I've got 3 splash that are here. These are just cheap splash cymbals that I got on Amazon for, well, not this one, that's a Meinl, I'll talk about that in a minute. But this splash cymbal here and this splash cymbal here, I picked up for, I think this one was $8 or $10. That one was maybe 12 or 13 bucks. You know, for a good splash sound, they give me exactly what I need. So why spend $100 on a splash cymbal when you don't need to? I found this on, where did I find this? I found this on eBay, I believe. This is a Meinl 10-inch HCS splash cymbal, which sounded great when I bought it. But I wanted something a little unique. I wanted it to sound trashier, so I actually drilled holes in it. And I picked a specific pattern and drilled 1/2-inch holes all through that, as you can see there. Obviously gives the sound. You hear that on the videos where you see me hitting that quite a bit. Over here is another just cheap, trashy Amazon cymbal that I spent maybe 14 bucks on. It is a 16-inch thin crash, as it is explained in Amazon. And again, it's just a cheap, trashy cymbal, but that's the sound I wanted. And I wanted to give it a little more airy, trashy sound. So this one I also drilled a series of holes in, as you can see here. These are 1 1/8, 1 1/4-inch holes. And there are 6 of those in there, and that gives that nice sort of trashy, not quite a China type of sound, but that sort of washy, trashy sound that you tend to like. Again, you'll hear that in some of the videos, specifically when I'm laying on that for some of the grooves we play. The hi-hats over here, XS20 hi-hats, medium thin, 14. Again, with a special red coating that I'll explain in another video how I did. And then over here, some Zildjian ZBT hats, which I found used at Guitar Center, and I think I might have paid $45 for the set. So pretty darn cheap. The sound is great. I mean, you've heard it on the video. It's actually got a nice, hard, chunky sound to it, playing live. And hey, if it's good enough for Mike Mangini to have a set on his kit with Dream Theater, why not put one up here as well? You know, sound speaks for itself. The ride cymbal is a Zildjian, again with a special coating. This is a Zildjian ZBT ride cymbal, 22-inch, very heavy. Makes a very, very nice, heavy, pingy, cutting sound. I actually bought it for live playing originally, but loved the way that it pinged and hit so well, especially for the kind of music that I tend to play, that I decided to keep it. I've also got a 22-inch Zildjian K dry ride that I really love. It's just doesn't cut the same way for the kind of music that we're playing. And you know, if I'm hitting on that ride cymbal, I want that to carry through. I want that to be, you know, sticking out and presenting itself in those parts of the songs where I play it. So that ride cymbal there, that Zildjian, that's perfect for that. Moving on to some additional accessories. This is a gift my daughter had got me for Christmas, this past Christmas. My handy dandy tambourine. Can't have too much tambourine. Comes in handy for a lot of stuff. You see me play it in places in videos where it wouldn't normally be played, but it sounds good where it's placed. I think so. So anyway, something I guess she might have picked it up Guitar Center. She might have got it at one of the online music stores. I don't know. It was a gift. So worked out real well. And then, of course, the best cowbell ever. That's right. It's a rocking cowbell. Makes a great sound, and all positioned where it is there. And then last but not least, over to my left, a Pearl piccolo snare, 13 by 3, that I picked up to have something for a little extra sound. There's really only one other video that I've used this on so far, but there is one that I'm working on now where I'll be using this a little bit more. I've got some new drum heads coming for that. You can see all the drum heads. Let's get to the drum heads real quick. All the drum heads are the Remo Color Sound, the colored ones, that is. Got them in red to go with the red kit, and I'll explain. Well, except for my, I call this my Doom drum, and when I hit that, you understand why, because it is deep and thuddy, and it sounds like Doom when I hit it. I didn't have it mic'd up very well in some of my other stuff. I'm going to be getting into that in another video too, on exactly how I record what I record and how I'm able to get the sound that I do. You might notice as I've been going around the kit, you'll see some new microphones that I have here. Some of these, this is stuff that I've picked up recently. I have not recorded with them yet. I'm still doing some testing. I picked up a new interface as well that I'm going through. But for purposes of this video, everything that you've seen prior to the date of this video has been recorded with just four microphones. One in the kick, whoop, not the cowbell, in the kick, on the snare, overhead left. Oh, there it is, in the light. Oh, there you go. Now you can see it. Overhead left and overhead right. And that's it. Just 4 microphones that I'm using to record this big old kit with. It's a lot of it has to do with tuning and just hitting it hard enough. Okay, I haven't finished the accessories. Let me get back to that. Rototoms, right? Good old 80s Rototoms. Some of the music I'm playing requires a little higher pitched stuff. I've got an old Rush Tune YYZ. There's a couple of Liquid Tension Experiment things that's going to be, well, Liquid Tension Experiment, there's one in there that might have a little stuff. You know, I was thinking about doing some Dream Theater things too, and a lot of that requires the higher toms. So, good to have. They're frivolous, but they look cool, and they sound good when they're played, so I put them in there as well. Let's see. Oh, pedals. Here we go. So down here, I play a double kick pedal. You can see the beaters there, or the red apple beaters. I actually picked these up after seeing Achilles Priester video, and I wanted something that punched, hit hard, and really made an impact. Not to mention I love red, as you can tell from the red kit, and this just worked perfectly. So I picked up this set of beaters and put them on the kit, and that's what I'm hitting the drums with. Pedals are Iron Cobras. It's a double pedal. The snare stand is a PDP 2-leg stand, as you can see here. And going up from there, I have my water bottle and my stick bag that is connected to the hi-hat stand. And this is a neat little trick. Just wanted to show this to you. Take the water bottle out of there. So what that is right there, that water bottle holder is off of a bike, or it's actually a holder for a mountain bike. So you can see here, as I get up close to that, it just clamps around. This is an accessory I bought on Amazon as a mountain bike water bottle holder clamp. It clamps around the base of the stand. Then the water bottle holder fixes to that, and in goes my water bottle. Stays out of the way when I'm playing. You can see plenty of space between me and the bottle, and yet I can still reach everything. So neat little stuff. It's more for live than anything else, but since we're not playing live lately, and I'm mostly doing videos, hey, still get thirsty while I'm rehearsing the videos, so that's what that's for. Next to that, real close in there, little tough to see. You can see here, there's a little clamp right here. and that clamp holds my phone, which I use for either song selection, or if I'm playing live, that's the place to put my phone instead of on the floor. I used to have a metronome connected to, or a Metrophone app on my phone, and then I'd run that into my monitors and my in-ears, and that's what I was using for tempo control, and then would simply have it programmed in for the songs. But now I've got a different method as I'm recording videos, so I'll explain all that when I go into how the sausage is made and show you how I make my videos. I know there's a few of them out there that do that. So this bag with a holder and a long arm, it just comes out and it just happens to be in that spot where I can reach them real quick. If I'm dropping a stick, I can grab one quick there. I don't have one set up for the right yet, so for right now, all my other sticks are all wrapped up and under the floor tom, but at some point I will have a bag set up specifically for that and to do that. So there's the whole kit. 14-inch floor tom to my left, 13 snare, 6, 8, 10 rototoms, 10 rack tom, 12 rack tom, 13 rack tom, 16 floor tom, and now the Doom Drum 22-inch kick drum that is turned on its side. Now this is an actual kick drum, Rock Tour Custom. Let me tell you a little bit of a story about this. So all these drums are done in a chrome red finish. Look how pretty that is. Chrome red finish, red heads, and you'll notice that the hardware is blackish. That is a black chrome finish. And I did all of this myself as a custom upgrade to the Yamaha kit. Because when I bought this kit back in 2001, that's right, this kit is 20 years old, and that's as long as I've had it. It's actually a kit that was made in the late 90s. It was the same kind of kit that Matt Sorum played with Guns N' Roses. I believe Tommy Aldridge also had a kit like this when he was playing with Ozzy, and I think he did a stint with Whitesnake too, but I think he had a different Yamaha kit at that time. The original finish on the kit was this black lacquer. It was actually, the original finish on the main kit is that, what did they call it, a confetti sparkle. So it's black with what looked like little confetti sparkle flakes in it. And although that's a great color, the finish was getting a little beat up after 20 years of use. I decided to refinish the kit. And so I got a new coating for it in red chrome. And for now, I will leave that a secret how I did that and put it in another video, because I'm going to show you how I modified the kit with the black rims, the red cymbals, and the red chrome finish. And you will see how I turned an ordinary black lacquer kit into what you've seen me playing. You can also notice too that my brass snare drum, I call it the Iron Man. Can you see why? So the Iron Man snare, brass with the red. Again, this is something where it's the same kind of specialty finish that I used on this as I did on the cymbals. My hi-hats, ride cymbal, the two crashes. I was thinking about doing more, but I kind of like the idea of having it different colors between the various cymbals, just for some variation. And I figured once I got as far as I did and had them positioned, I kind of like the way the symmetry was with red, 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 and then kind of surrounded by the brass color. So it was something that I decided to keep for now. There might be some other mods as we go, but we'll see. But you can see here, I decided to keep this kick drum in its original finish. I just like something a little different. And funny enough, the snare drum on the other side is also in its original black finish. So in kind of a way, I actually like the idea of being flanked on both sides with the black. I'm still debating if I want to refinish the standard chrome rims in the red like the snare drum is. I don't know. Leave something in the comments. Tell me if you think that'd be cool to do. And as part of my video on how I customized the kit, I can actually use this as a sample to show you how it was done. In any event, let's get back to the Doom. So the Doom drum, it's a kick drum. So how do you get a kick drum to stand on its side and be able to play it? So what I did was I took the kick legs and I added floor tom legs inside where they mount into the kick leg. Now on these Yamaha drums, these particular pieces here, and again, done in that red finish that I'll explain in the other video, they have an extender rod that goes to the part that is the round rubber with the spike in it that goes into the carpet. So what I did was remove that, and these floor tom legs happen to be the same diameter as the part that came out. So I simply used that and then kept them in the downward position and extended them down. Well, that's great for two of them, but what did I do for the third leg? Well, the third leg is a stand. Is the lighting showing on that pretty good? Can you guys see that? It's a stand that goes into the tom mount holder, and it's a tripod stand. So it's a tripod stand that holds the drum like a suspended tom, but because the drum is so damn big and too heavy for the stand, I use the legs as support legs and have them extend to the floor. So now it's a three-legged drum, and it just positions there all by itself. So let's talk about the hardware a little bit. So on the hardware, let's move around to the front of the kit. So as you can see on the kit, everything mounts to a special stealth rack system that I set up. Got the inspiration from this from the Gibraltar website. There was a number of different Gibraltar configurations. There's a series of videos that he put out that talked about how to do various setups, and I was just inspired by this stealth look. So I've had this setup when I had a double kick setup. This is simply a reconfiguration of my old double kick setup. Something standard that you'd kind of see all the other guys have, where they have they have this round bridged bar that goes across. You know, it would normally come across the top, and then all the toms would get mounted to that. I wanted to do something a little different, so instead, inspired from the video, I took the uppers that I already had. There's one here, and there's one in the back. Tough to see. Oh, there's a little extra curtain material there. I'll move that. So you can see here. And then everything mounts to this top bar. So the snare drum mounts to that. The floor tom comes out at an angle and mounts in. Of course, you have the clamps for all the cymbal stands, right? Clamps there. This clamp here holds the rototoms, which I position in like so. And again, I got a new miking system that I'm going to be testing out and putting into a couple of videos, since I'm now upgrading from a 4-mic system to a 12-mic system. So there's one of the microphones there hooked up, which is going to pick up the rototoms once that's all set up. And then even the hi-hats, just to make sure they don't move, I actually had a bunch of pieces and parts from my touring days, and I picked up these pieces and parts and just began to kind of Frankenstein this stuff together. You can see here that that tom arm with a dual clamp actually holds the hi-hat stand in place. So now it does not move on me. I can be pretty tough on my drums. I hit them pretty darn hard. I push the pedals pretty hard. And any of you guys that have done that kind of thing know that the stuff can move all over the place on you. So anything that's locked down helps. Again, the arms holding this. Now that's kind of tucked away. There's some tight spots here. Anybody with a bigger kit knows how tough this can be sometimes to try to set these things up and make sure you got space and room for everything to go, especially if you're trying to do microphones, you know, and find little places to squeeze them in. But you can see there, Yamaha Rock Tour Custom. Now, little story about this drum here. When I told you about the Rock Tour Custom when I first bought it 20 years ago, it's actually was a 6-piece kit, just had the 12, 13, 14, 16, and kick drum. So that's 6 pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, the snare was 6. I actually bought the snare when I bought that too. That was a separate purchase, so it didn't come as part of the tom set. Bought them used. Clearance item from Guitar Center back in 2000. $600. Yeah. Snare drum cost me $450. So I was over $1,000 on the whole kit, but snare was worth it. But you can see here, this tom, that was not part of the original one. I wanted to add a higher tom. So what I found at Guitar Center, about a year after I bought the main kit, I found this 10-inch tom just sitting all by itself. This one is actually a white lacquer. It's a birch. I believe it's a recording custom. And but it had the same kind of lug hardware. So as you can see, older kit, full tension lugs. I don't know if there's any companies that even make full tension lug kits anymore. I think that was just a product of the 80s and 90s, to be honest with you. But saw the recording custom drum, and it was the perfect size that I needed. It just wasn't the right color. So as soon as I bought that, I've been using new color wraps on the kit ever since, and just changing it out every few years as my particular color coordinating desires were. This thing used to be brushed steel, it used to be copper, and I'm trying to remember what was the last color that it was before I changed it to chrome. Geez, I don't even remember, because once I found this color, that's what I fell in love with. You can see here though, getting back to the hardware, that the drums are not mounted to the kick. It might look like there's something mounted to it, but what that actually is the tambourine and the cowbell are mounted to a tom arm right here that's mounted in there. The kit is set up in such a way, let me show you the rest of the hardware real quick. You can see this is actually mounted sideways into mounting hardware. Not up and down, but sideways. Same with the other side. So if we pull back, see how the arms, they come in to the drum, and over here come in to the drum from the side. So what this is this is what's called a split stealth design. I guess that's what Gibraltar calls it. Where if I take this, so check this out, if I take this and I grab a hold of this, the whole thing moves. This entire system is all one big chunk sitting on these two, sitting on this. It's just an H bridge with everything from the 12-inch tom all the way to the hi-hats and even the floor tom over here. This whole mess is all attached to this bridge system right here. All of it together, you can see here. Moving it back and forth. I can take this whole thing, pull it right away from the kit, pull it right back in. I can do the same thing with the other side. You can see here how the drums are mounted, and it's identical to the other side. Stealth mounted in, and everything except the doom drum is connected to this side. So if I take this, and you can see here, the entire, everything. See how everything moves? All part of that whole setup right here, which is the double H bridge. See, I've got a top mount and a bottom mount. Now I can mount stuff to this, I just don't have anything mounted to it. It's just mostly for strength than anything. But I've got the main pillar all the way here with the two twins going across as a curve. They curve around the kit, and then everything mounts to it. Everything except the floor toms. All the cymbals, everything. Now the kick drum, inside the kick drum, you can see in there, got a nice little Kelly shoe, I think it's called, which is an internal drum mount. Again, something that I got the idea from Achilles Priester. For those of you that don't know who he is a Brazilian drummer phenom. He's played with bands like Angra, Hanger. He's done tons of other work. He is pretty much one of the heavy rocker, prog metal rocker types in Brazil, as you would see, you know, anywhere from UK stateside. He's actually done acts with a lot of US and British artists as well. Look him up, Achilles Priester, awesome drummer. That's where I stole a lot of my ideas from. I was very inspired by a lot of stuff he did. I didn't want to copy his stuff exactly, but he inspired a lot of what I did with my kit. For microphones, I think I've showed you. Originally using a 4-mic setup, cheap ass Amazon microphone. I think this was 25 bucks, maybe. I think it was under 20 bucks. Same thing over here to the right. 20 bucks. Look them up on Amazon. They're stupid dirt cheap. But as you can tell from the kind of sound I'm able to get with them, they're pretty good. They do okay. For YouTube videos anyway, right? I'll go into a whole video on how I do that, how I get the sound I get. Now, I can't look inside. Well, maybe I can. Take a look right here. Can you guys see that? There we go. See that bad mama jamma? Yeah. That's another super cheap, crazy Amazon kick mic. Same as what's here. Cost me $26 in Amazon. And then my piece de resistance. No, that's not an SM57. That is a pile. See the word? It's upside down, but that cost me $12. So before I bought these other mics, and I'll get into those after, when I actually record with them and can get the sound dialed in, I was able to record everything on these 4 microphones. The videos you see are just those 4 microphones, the kick drum mic and that cheap snare mic. The entire 4 microphones were less than 80 bucks. Let's go over here to the rest of my gear. Now you're going to see over here, there's my new Mama Jamma right there, 8-channel Behringer input. I've got another 8-channel preamp input coming in. I'm going to have 16 input channels. I'm actually only going to use 12, but I've got 16 that I'm going to be using. However, the point is, before I have not recorded any videos. As of the date of this video, I have not recorded any videos with more than simple 4 channels. So this, I only got a couple days ago, and I've just been testing out some sounds with it. That's the bad boy I've been using right there. My little Euphoria UMC 404 HD. 4 inputs, and if you look at my videos, and you pause them when you see one of those shots where you can see the setup behind me while I'm playing, you can see there was only 4 mics coming into here. Had kick, snare, overhead left, overhead right. That was it. So all those videos recorded with 4 microphones. Don't let anybody ever tell you that you need a ton of expensive gear to make a high quality YouTube video. I'm going to show you in a future video exactly how I did what I did, and if you guys want to copy what I did, then you'll be able to, well, hopefully get the same results. Audio input, or I'm sorry, not audio input. My monitor, just a simple 1/4-inch cable. Now I have it into this one because I've been testing, but you know, I had it down here in my 4-channel for all my other videos. That goes to my in-ears. You see that I wear, I'm going to swing around here, my little Vic Firth headphones. They're actually not headphones. They're just earmuffs, ear attenuators. They take about 22 dB out of the sound of the room. Because what I want to do when I'm playing my videos is I only want to hear what's going on in the mix. I don't want to hear too much of the drums. It's too much, it drowns out. And you might see in some of my videos I look like I'm staring off into space. I'm actually trying to concentrate on the music because sometimes the drum mix is too loud. Not the mix in my ears, just the sound of the room plus everything else. So I'm trying to isolate as much as I can. And again, in the interest of cost effectiveness in everything I do, I have a pair of in-ear monitors that I use. I picked up these again on Amazon, doing a little research on in-ear monitors. These are really, really good. I think they're a 3-driver or a 4-driver system. I picked them up for $42. Not $220 or $300, or I've seen some that are $800, even $1,200 for a set of in-ears. I'm sure at some point that would be really nice to have. Maybe if I'm doing some live performances in big venues again, I might go down that route. But for the sake of YouTube videos, why spend $900 when you can get the same effect for $40? Really good stuff. So this goes in my ears, and then this goes over the top. So between the isolation that the monitors offer and the isolation that offers on top of that, I am hearing only what's in the mix. The music and my drums together. As you see, I wear drum gloves. Might as well touch on that while I'm at it. I had drum gloves. Again, it's not because I worry about wearing my hands out. I've done that plenty. This is just for grip. That's all it's for. It's just so that the stick will stay in my hand so I don't have to choke the living bejesus out of it. I like to have a nice, loose, open grip when I'm playing. And if it gets a little too tense, as you can see here, as I do that, you can see the tenseness as I squeeze harder. See how my arm tenses up? Well, when you're playing fast, heavy music like you see in the videos that I post, that causes an awful lot of fatigue and an awful lot of pain. So, if you can hold the stick nice and loose, move quickly and fast, but if your hands are sweaty, that stick's going flying and it's tough to hold on to. So, the gloves and the stick tape hold it all together. Let me show you that stick tape. I use 2 different kinds. I started out with a standard stick tape. This is just a cloth tape. But I found what I ended up liking better is this stuff here called stick handler. This is actually K-tape. This is actually that athletic K-tape. You see track stars and volleyballers and stuff like that use it sometimes. It's the same stuff. It's kind of rubbery, sticks real well, holds onto the stick, and between the leather and this rubbery sticky grip, I can hold the stick as loose as I want. I can hold it like a baby bird's in my hand and yet swing as hard as a pro baseball player hitting something out of the park. And it stays in my hand. So, I did use this for a while. Little stick wax. Sometimes they call it gorilla snot, monkey snot. I've heard it called a number of different things. Use that for a while. When I don't wear gloves, I'll use this. But the problem with this is it wears off the stick really quickly. So if I've got a long session where I'm rehearsing or I'm doing a lot of different takes on a video, I need something better than what's going to wear off after 3 or 4 songs, or 3 or 4 runs through a song, depending on what I'm doing. Okay, so laptop, obviously. This is regular PC running Windows, as you can tell. I'm going to go here, show you what I'm running. Everything runs through Reaper. There you go, and there's the song I'm working on right now. You can see there plenty of channels. Again, just trying to do some test sounds now that I've got 8 inputs I'm working with. Right now, I mentioned that I've got 12 inputs that I'm going to be doing. There's 2 in the front, 6 in the back that you can see here. I label everything with one of those digital labelers, so you can see here. Everything's labeled so I know what goes where. Kick and snare on 1 and 2. So right now I'm testing 8 channels, so I'm running kick, snare. Toms 1 and 2 are being handled by a single microphone as a split. There's a derogatory term that's used for that I won't use on the video because there might be kids watching, but for those of you that have been in the business long enough, you know what that term is. And then over here on Tom 3, it has its own mic, which is hiding under the splash cymbal. You can see there. Sorry about the lighting, guys. First time doing one of these kinds of videos, and I'm not sure how the lighting works yet. I'm still studying up on it. And then, of course, Tom 3 mic, although it says T5 for Tom 5, once I get the 12 mic setup done, that's going to be assignment Tom 5. But for now, I've got that routed as Tom 3. And then the Doom drum is on Tom 4. And that is using a kick drum mic because, well, it's a kick drum. You'll hear it in the video when I might do a test video before I do the more complex one that I'm working on now. That's still going to take a week or two before I get it down. It's a tough one. You'll understand when you see it. Then it came with the mic setup that it came with. Had a couple of overhead mics, but since I've already got some, I'm actually using those. And you can see back there, there's a microphone. Can you see that? Hang on, guys. There we go. See that microphone right there? For the Rototoms. Again, Tom mic there. So the 12 mic setup is going to have kick, snare. This will have its own dedicated microphone, which is actually right here. I just haven't set it up because I don't have the inputs for it yet. Tom 1, Tom 2, Tom 3, Tom 4. Well, it's actually going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 is the 14 because I'm going to keep them acoustically in order. 5 is the floor tom. This is actually Tom 6, but I nicknamed it Doom because it's my Doom drum. That's what we call that. And then, of course, you know, kick and snare are what they are. Overhead left, overhead right, that makes 10. Then piccolo snare is 11, and rototoms are 12. So those are my 12 inputs. That's going to happen down the road. For now, I'm just running 8, running some tests, and I might do a couple of songs where it's not going to need to have all the extra microphones in order to do it, just to try to isolate the toms a little more, get a better sound with it. But as you can see, everything runs through Reaper. And I use stock plugins. I don't use any special plugin packs or anything like that. Everything is stock. So you'll see then that it's going to be relatively simple. I'm going to have another video where I give you guys all the information on how I do what I do to make the sound what it is with only 4 microphones. And then, of course, now with 8. But I'll show you how it works with 4 because I've already got, I don't know, what, 20 videos or so up with just a 4 microphone mix. And then going from 4 to 8 or 4 to 12, all it is just a few more channels to have to get funky with and dial in, make sure the sound is good. But that's pretty much the kit, folks. Oh, let's talk a little bit about the room. I've got a light up here. That's a box light, cheap Neewer box light. Again, got it on Amazon. I think it cost me, oh boy, I believe I got both of these lights for $80 for the pair. They came with the stand, the bulb, everything. It's like as you see it, just plug and go. My little AC unit so I don't sweat my hoo-ha off. And then the other light, sorry about the brightness on that, just wanted to show that to you. That is a shop light. That's one of those LED shop lights that you can get at Home Depot. And all I did was I just attached it to the ceiling and it shines down. And that's it. That's my lighting rig. 3 lights. Actually, this one over here isn't on. I don't know if it's just not working. Let me see. Maybe that helps. Oh, there we go. Ta-da! All right, so we got a little more light. Well, that does help. Let's take a quick look at the kit from the aerial shot. There we go. there's the whole kit. It's basically, oh, drum throne. Sorry guys, forgot to tell you about that. For my old, tired, sensitive bum, I've got a special drum throne. The A-Head Spinal Glide. There's a number of different ones out there. They're all really good. But you want to avoid some numb undercarriage, that's the baby to have right there. That split channel allows airflow, circulation, ease of pressure. Great throne. Glad I got this one compared to the other ones. My bottom side began going numb about halfway through a set several years back when I was playing, so I asked my wife, I need something new. I know this chair is a couple $100, but if we want to invest in it, that's what I need. She said, yep, you go ahead. So God bless her. She's a wonderful woman. So there's the whole deal. If you guys got any questions about any of this, leave something in the comments. Let me know if you want any extra details about any of this. I'm happy to do more to let you know what I'm doing to make the sound I got and how I've done this. There will be videos coming to show how I actually built all this, put it together, got it to look the way it is. That is with regard to the chrome finish, the special blackened finish, the red on some of the hardware, and on the cymbals. I did not buy those that way. I made them, and I can show you how it's done. In fact, if you guys want to do the same for yours, you don't necessarily even have to do red. I believe that there's blue, black. I don't think there's pink. I'm trying to remember what's available. Again, I'll leave that for another video so that you guys can see how I did what I did. Because this bad boy right here is starting to get a little worn out where it's contacting this cymbal when I hit them. So it's going to be time to put a little renewer finish on that so it looks nice and shiny like that one does. So, all right guys. Oh, wait a minute. Before I go too far, let's talk about the cameras. So you see that I use a 3-camera shot. So there is camera stand number 1, which sits right under the light. So you can see there, I'm going to block a little bit of that light so you can see it there. And what that is, you can see here, the camera's not in it right now, it's just a little camera holder. That camera is camera number 1. This stand right here is camera number 2. You can see here, nice white ceiling, but you don't see that in the videos. And you can see here, if I place this right where that is, where that lens is, there's the camera view you guys see from the overhead. There it is, there's the camera stand. And then the third one is my wild card. I've had it in a number of different positions, but for now, it sits right up here looking down from the top. And again, there's nothing in the holders because they're right over in my office where I'm using them for video editing. And I keep them on the charger. But just so you know, those cameras right there, I bought all 3 cameras, again, on Amazon for $30 a piece. So for less than $100, I bought those cameras, and now I've got a 3-camera angle. Plus the one I'm holding one in my hand, it's a GoPro Hero 3 Silver, which is, there we go, back. Hey guys, good to see you again. The Hero 3 Plus Silver GoPro that I have, this was a gift from Christmas a few years ago, and that's my foot cam. So on the videos where you see any foot cam stuff, I have it on a mount that's there. It's a little difficult to place. Some stuff that I do, I don't need the foot cam all the time, so sometimes you just get the 3-camera angle, sometimes you're getting the foot cam, it just depends. So I hope to put more of the foot cam stuff up, you know, so you guys can see more of some of the footwork that goes on, you know, where it's interesting. So, but that's it, 4-camera setup, and you know, $100 on the cameras, $80 on the microphones. I think the this unit right here was $149. So you don't need a lot of money to make a quality video. I'll have a new one coming out to show you how that's done. But that's the drum kit, guys. Got any questions about it or anything that you want to know more about? You know, leave a comment. Tell me what you think. Got any questions about it? Happy to answer anything that you got. And I'll put out another video on how all of this stuff is done. I'm going to call it How the Sausage is Made, so you can see the horrible underbelly of what goes on in making these videos. Everything from the lighting, the backdrop, which as you can see is just a black curtain that's in my garage. That's where I record everything, right in my garage. I'll show you how all that goes. I'll show you how I do all of that. All of those secrets will be revealed, my good compadres. So, you guys have a good one. Got any questions? Comment, subscribe, give me a like. Okay. Y'all have a good one. We'll see you on the next video.